I am live. I am live. I am alive. I don't know what the hell. This camera sucks. So, anywho, I'm live. I'm back. Miss Lynn been working, y'all. Been working my ass off or on or whatever. Been working. My goodness. This camera is terrible. But anyway, how y'all been doing? I decided to go live because I ain't feel like shooting no pre-recorded video. Um, it's Miss Lynn right back at you again. And look, fuck you, whoever got a problem with me missing a tooth, bitch. Look, I ain't got no tooth. Y'all won't know how I lost that motherfucker though. Ooh, wee. So anyway, I'm on here. There's some videos that I want to make, but I decided to get on here right now because I am vexed in my spirit. I am vexed like 100%. Got some fucking concerns. Like I'm like, what in the hell? Okay, so here's the tea. I go on a dating site, right? And I offer the guy that that's showing an interest in me. I offered him my phone number, right? Cause why the fuck not? Okay, cause he gonna offer me his phone number just like dudes always say. Here, you want my phone number? So I take the leap before he do. I jump to it before he do. So I'm on the phone with this good guy, and the conversation was about dating, dating, date, dating, going out, dating. Because dating to me ain't nothing but going out to eat, going to restaurants, beaches, traveling together. I mean, I've done all that, been there, done that. That ain't nothing new to me. But my thing is, he said some things to me that kind of got me like, huh? Okay, so before I was on the phone with him initially, I told him I was about to get in the shower. I was getting in the shower, I was feeding my son and getting my clothes ready. He was all like, "Oh, you didn't call me when I asked you to," and blah blah blah. And I sat there and I told him, I said, I was literally getting prepared to get in the shower. I was doing three things at once: feeding my son, getting my clothes ready, and preparing myself for a shower. So what's the problem? Why couldn't I call you after I got done? He was like, "Oh well, I wanted you to call me when I asked you to. Get the fuck out of here." So I told him what was going on, in my world. And then I asked him, I said, "Do you still have an interest in me?" And he says to me, "You didn't say or do anything for me to have an interest in you." Because I was telling him about my situation. You know how you get to know somebody, you start talking to them, you talk to them, you tell them your story, you tell them what you're about, who you are, you know, and things and such. So this dude tells me, he says to me those words. I didn't say or do anything to for him to have an interest in me because he does not know me. But the initial interest to me was sending me a message first. He sent me the message. So that meant to me you had some kind of interest in me. You saw something about me whether it be physical or on my profile description that piqued your interest. But he's telling me he didn't have no interest in me. What the fuck we on the phone for then? Why you message me if you don't have no interest in me? Make this make sense. That's one red flag. Because if you have an interest in somebody, you're gonna message them. You're gonna ask them for your phone for their phone number. You're gonna want to talk to them and get to know them. Like everything I said to this dude went completely over his head. Like he did not have ears to hear and he was not using his motherfucking brain. So I'm telling him, I said, you had some sort of interest in me by messaging me. He's like, no, I didn't. Basically, was what he was saying was he didn't even have an interest in me in the first place because he didn't know me. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm sitting here and I'm telling him my story. I'm telling him what's going on. I'm giving him background about me so he can know a little bit about me before we meet each other, right? Meet each other. Whole time, dude, is just everything I'm saying to him is just going in one ear and out the other, blowing past. Like I'm saying to him, because life. Through life we go through refinement, we go through change. I done moved again, honey. Miss Linda moved again. I'm always moving, going. Ain't nothing about my life stable. No matter how hard I tried to find stability, there's always some reason why I have to uproot and move to a different place because I'm called to be there. That's just how my life has always been. So I'm sitting here having this conversation with this guy, and him not realizing that I'm a professional spiritual coach and counselor. But if he had stayed on the phone with me, he would have got to know even more about me. But he refused to get to know me because of the situation. Circumstances is what divides people, I guess. Help me to understand. So I'm talking to him and I'm telling him about things and about me and about my life and about how I've been married for 20 years. And then the topic came up of us dating. Dating. I said, what kind of dating are you talking about? Because me, I got my son with me. I'm not even gonna lie. My baby is with me. He's 7 years old. I never had a family to depend on. You know what I'm saying? I never had a babysitter. I never had a support system. And I told him my son is with me. He's 7 years old. I don't have no family. I ain't got no support system. And basically he repeated everything back to me that I said, not really showing any kind of brain power. You know what I'm saying? So that topic, he ain't got no tooth. So that topic of dating came up. He says to me, what is your plan? How do you expect to date? How are you going to be able to date with your baby with you 24/7? And I says to him, this is summertime. It's summertime. I'm working my little odds and end jobs just so I can be with my son before he goes back to school. And then he says, oh, school should be starting in August 8th, 9th, 10th, 15th, 16th. And I corrected him. I said, school starts August 12th. And depending on what school district you in, that's when the school starts. So, dude, to me, another red flag, narcissist, don't want to fucking listen. No, sir. No, sir. Hex-worthy piece of shit. Okay. So, like I said, the topic of dating came up. I said to him, what kind of dating you talking about? What, going out to restaurants, going out to eat, going to the beach? Because I said, honey, I've been there and done all of that shit. I've been there and done. I done had everything. I done had money, cars, clothes, shoes, food. I done had it all. So none of that shit impresses me. I said, I want all the things that money cannot buy. Went right over his head again. Wasn't listening. He said, well, baby, I don't move that way. Well, what the fuck? What way do you or do you not move, my nigga? I told him, I said, I want all the things that money cannot buy. I laid it out for him. I said, quality time, affection, attention, listening to me, love, learning how to love me, getting to know me. all this shit went over this motherfucker's head so fucking fast. It just went in one ear and out the other. There was no bells dinging in his head. He would not stop over talking me, was not listening, and was not hearing or understanding or comprehending a damn thing I had to say. When somebody has had everything but the true thing that they want, nothing in this world will attract them to that same life. I've had everything. I've had the purses. I've had the clothes. I've had the fucking lingerie. I've had the wardrobes. I've had the jewelry. I've had it all. I had it all. I don't want it. Don't want it. I told this motherfucker, I said, me and my husband, we ran a trucking company together. We had everything. And I repeated myself yet again. I said, I want all the things that money cannot buy. And he just was not hearing me. He was not getting it. He's one of them. And I deliberately put this as a pin in between the words that I was saying. Instead of having everybody in your business, in your relationship, having the world in your relationship, I said, I want all the things that money cannot buy. He still didn't get it. Still didn't understand, still didn't comprehend nothing I had to say, wasn't listening, narcissist. That's what they do. They don't fucking listen. Or unless he's completely stupid. I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've had everything. I'm 43 years old. I'm 43 years old. Married for 20 years I was. I've had my nails done, getting my hair and nails done every 2 weeks. Buying new pairs of shoes and clothes for me and my kids, toys every fucking week, high heels and lingerie. I've had everything. I've had closets stuffed with clothes, shoes, jewelry. We've had everything, kitchen appliance. We've had it all. I've had it all. When I say I had everything I've ever wanted, I did, except for that one thing that I really wanted the most. That was to be loved properly. See, what he didn't understand when I was saying what I was saying was, I don't want the world in my relationship. Just because you going out on the town, boogieing and getting drunk and acting a fool and having the police called on you, that don't mean a motherfucker is happy. Just because we going out on the town and we seeing these so-called couples, or could be motherfucking brother and sister for all we know, could be auntie and uncle, could whoever the fuck these people, we don't know who they are. Just because they got a smile on their face don't mean they happy. That motherfucker could be going home raping that bitch in her sleep. That he could be going home beating her ass. She could be going home beating his ass, drugging him, all kinds of crazy weird shit. I don't want none of that. I've been there too. Like, he really was not listening. And all he was focused on was dating. How you gonna go on a date with somebody that you ain't even trying to get to know in the first place? Because the only way you're gonna get to know that person is spending quality time alone with that person, not in the streets. Definitely not in the sheets. Not in no public place. The only reason you going out into a public place is because you trying to flash, you trying to be flashy, or you trying to make sure you staying safe. But when it's all said and fucking done, the rubber hits the motherfucking road when you alone with that person, when you spending time with that person, when you're learning their physique, their mannerisms, their thought processes, how they carry themselves, what they like and what they do not like. You don't get that in public. You don't get that in no movie theater. You don't get that going out to the beach. And I told him I ain't about going on no beach holding no motherfucking hands. I ain't about that. That ain't me. Because if you ain't trying to get to know who I am as a person, not because of a circumstance or a situation that I can't even control any fucking way, especially when you in transition of changing your life, what's the fucking point? You know what I'm saying? People judge you based on circumstances, based off your life circumstances. They tell you, oh, you should be focused on doing this. You should be focused on doing that. But bitch, Rome wasn't built in a fucking day. Everything is a process. Everything. Everything has a fucking process. Magic has a process. Paperwork has a process. Intake has a process. Getting a job has a process. Employment has a process. Building a business has a fucking process. Everything has a process. Getting to know somebody and dating. Date. I hate that word date. Date. Bitch, I don't want to go on no date. I'm trying to spend some quality time with somebody to see if you right for me and my son. Your behavior, your thought processes. And my son will tell me right off the bat. And yes, I have taken my son on dates with me. He's just as spiritual as I am. He'll tell me if he likes somebody or not. He might like them, but I don't. So if we not in agreement about the same motherfucking person, honey, we just not. Because me and my son, we cool like that. Me and my baby, he'll tell me if a motherfucker's good or not. Because he watches, just like I do. He watches, and he'll tell me in a heartbeat, Mama, you need to get rid of him. He ain't no good. I don't like this about him. He's too aggressive. He's too this. He's too that. And he's 7. And then I'm like, he said something else that is key to me. He said, I don't move that way. Why would you have your son around strangers that you don't even know? And at the same time, we send our kids to school with strangers. We're sending them to daycare with strangers. We're sending them to football fields and soccer fields with motherfucking strangers. You sending your kids around strangers that you don't even know. Have you spent any quality time with your motherfucking kid's school teacher? Have you spent quality time with the football coach? Only thing you know is his football stats and his coaching career. But here we are sending our children to school with child molesters and child predators. So what the fuck he was saying to me didn't mean shit. Because I'm already forced to send my son to school with people I don't know and don't give a shit. They're already there and only there 9 times out of 10 for a paycheck. He really should have gotten to know me and understand my mind, but he wasn't on my level. And I told him, I said, we are not on the same wavelength. So this ain't going to work for me because the fact, 1, he wasn't listening. 2, he was only focused on dating, no real relationship with someone. The only thing he wanted was date. But when he said, I want to get to know you, I'm sitting here telling him about myself. Ain't no motherfucker ready for me. That's why I don't have a man. No. You ain't said nothing slick to Quinn or I don't have one because I don't play around. But I got some shit. I bet y'all can't guess how I lost my tooth. Put down there in motherfucking comments how Miss Lynn lost her tooth. How? Miss Lynn, you lost your tooth. I'll tell y'all later. But it's funny though. It's funny as fuck. So that's what bothered me about this situation. Now I am very interested in this topic. Now I wasn't even interested in the topic of dating. I wasn't I dating. The fuck? I don't want to go out to eat. I can take me and my son go out to eat every damn day. To nice restaurants at that. We go to Starbucks at least 3 times a fucking week. So I'm trying, I know I probably sound passive. I probably do, but to somebody who's already lived that type of life, there's nothing glamorous about it. You ain't missing shit. You ain't missing nothing. I mean, unless you want to go out and, cut a rug, get a little drinking. You can do that at home. You safer at home getting drunk and cutting a rug than you are going out in public anyway nowadays. These motherfuckers is crazy. Like, and I'm just, like I said, I'm rambling. I was watching this commercial. I think it was like a Hyundai or a Honda commercial where the cars were made of wood, right? And there was real people, probably AI people, but real people driving these cars. But the main car that the commercial was about, I think, or Kia, the lady was driving the Kia, right? Everybody was in these wooden cars, and she's just passing these motherfuckers by. They were all stalled, stuck, and what? And I'm like, wait a minute. One, red flag. You got this lady who could have helped any last one of these motherfuckers in this car. She just passing them by. Like, oh, my car's the shit. Yours is old and it's a toy. I'm like, that's how they desensitizing everybody. That's why a motherfucker can't get help now, because they stuck in these damn TVs watching shit like this, and they passing everybody by that needs help, or are you passing by somebody that could have been a blessing to you in the long run in a relationship? You never know. So y'all being desensitized in the most craziest of fucking ways. That's why I don't watch TV. Like, I've been in several situations where I done ran out of gas because I was trying to get to the gas station. I'm sitting here pushing my truck. Everybody passing me by. This little bitty ass woman, look, I done lost weight and everything. Can you imagine me pushing a 2-3 ton truck by myself? And there's cars just zooming by me. And I'm like, ain't this a bitch? I don't know why I expected anybody to help. Because y'all all brainwashed any fucking way. Ain't got the time. You're zooming by. Your life is going by. Can't even catch your breath. I'm like, fuck that. I got me and only me, and my demons alone. I got Lucifer around my neck. I got Lucifer around my neck. Anyway. It's fucked up out here. Y'all be careful, man. Excuse me. Y'all be very careful out here and be safe. So, karmatic interference. Y'all ain't ready for this one. Or maybe you are. I just went through a whole situation with a past ex of mine. I still love him. Loved. As I was working, because I worked 10 and 12-hour shifts most days. Also 6 days a week, off on Sunday. So that's why I haven't been on here. I wasn't able to free myself from my job because, one, I became addicted to it. And two, I had to, because it's just me and my son. Who the fuck else I got to rely on to help take care of me and him? Nobody. Me, you know? I was in this relationship, or whatever you want to call it, with one of my exes. You know, I loved him, and that love was still there. Like I said, when I go through some shit, 9 times out of 10, it's a lesson that I need to learn for myself and to pass that shit on to somebody who's gonna need it later on, or who's going through it and can't see it. Karmatic interference. Karmatic interference. So I'm at work. I'm working. Non-emergency medical transportation. That's what I do. Transporting people to and from doctor's office, hospital, discharges, and the like. You know, going to dentist, vision, going to the eye doctor, all that. I did all that. You know, and even had, you know, taking them to and from the nursing home to dialysis. I was doing all that shit. You know, in and out the hospitals, helping people. I'm at work one day. I'm dropping off a patient of mine across the street from where my ex lives. He was standing outside. Still look damn good, fine as hell, 6'5", light skin, bald head, beards. Oh, he was fine. He's still fine. Still love him. Oh, he was fine. Oh, my ex. I get out my van, my work van. I'm getting out my work van, and I see him. He's watering the grass, watering the grass, watering the grass. I said, "Hey, ain't your name such and such?" He's like, "Yeah." Who are you? Like that. And I said, "Come here, come here, come here, come close, come closer, come closer." He came closer. He was like standing like right up there. He's 6'5", so I'm like, "Do you remember me?" And I'm looking all the way up like that. He's like, and I said, "Do you remember me?" He looked at me. He was looking. He was like, "Ooh." And he kind of like hopped back. Have you ever seen a 6 foot man, a 6'5" man, big, hop back? He's like, "Ooh." And I said, "Damn, you don't remember me. It must not been that good." Then it's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I remember you." He said, "I'm gonna call you. Give me your what?" And I said, "Let me." And he said, "Take my number." And I started taking his number down. And he said, "I might let you take advantage of me later on." I was like, "Oh, okay." Come to find out, that's what happened, honey. He had me in all kinds of fucking positions that night. Got me drunk and everything. We had a blast. We had a ball. And we was together for a year almost. It would have been a year this month. This coming week, we would have been together for a year. So I really didn't have a lot of time to spend with him until my days off came, right? And that's if I even had any days off. So when I did spend time with him, it wasn't always great. What he was sick and had all kinds of heart problems. He had heart problems and couldn't breathe, and his allergies was killing him and everything. You know how your eyes is fizzing red, just ears and nose and throat was messing with him and all kinds of shit. But I wasn't around him long enough to realize what was going on. I noticed that he would call me at certain times a day. He would be asleep all day, or he's staying in a specific area of the house. He wouldn't come out as much. He wouldn't do a lot of these things. And to me, I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I get some time, when I get some time, I'll start coming over more and spending more quality time with him to get to know who he is now versus who he was. Because he loved me. We loved each other. But during that time, I was going through some crap with my now ex-husband, and I was supposed to be with that dude and not my ex-husband, because it's a crazy, crazy, crazy ass Miss Lynn's life. But as the workload and my job started tapering off, because we have peak seasons too when it comes to non-emergency medical transportation. We have peak seasons just like a lot of these other companies do. So as um, our workload started to taper off a little bit, I would be over there with him. And I would just sit there and I would watch how he handles himself. I would watch what he does, how he treats me, how he treats my son, and we would get to know each other better. He loves music, so we always around each other, when I'm not at work, and we vibing to music. We vibing and we work, we chilling. But I started noticing some things because I practice magic. He didn't know that I'm a witch because I didn't tell him everything at the time. He only came over my house maybe 3 times, but that's only because I didn't have time. I wasn't at home anyway. I had a big ass. Honey, listen, I had a 3 bedroom, 2-story fucking house that I wasn't even at, but to sleep in. But anyway, whatever. So as I'm spending more time with him, As I'm getting to know who he is at this point in time versus who he used to be, because I'm weighing who he is now versus who he used to be. Them motherfuckers is two completely different people. I'm like, what the fuck happened to him? I have no clue. I have no clue. He was a completely, totally different person. Who I know now versus who I used to know. I'm like, bitch, that is not him. Is gone. Like, and I'm sitting here and I'm just watching him and how he handles his emotions. He's aggressive, overly aggressive. He was never like that with me. He always had patience. He took care of me. He always, was always cuddling up on me and loving on me. That's why I chose to, be with him over my husband, because he was giving me what I wanted. But this was 11 years ago. That man that I knew and that man that I know now, he fine as hell, baby. Beware. Be careful out there. His emotions. He was driven by his emotions, very stingy, hateful, condemning. I mean, the more time I got to spend with him, the more I got to see. And I'm seeing stuff that I've never experienced before. So I'm like clueless. I'm in uncharted territory. I'm like, what the fuck am I in? This ain't the man I used to know. This is not the person that I loved once. Them is two totally different people now. I'm like, Lucifer, what the fuck? Honey, listen, I don't went to Lucifer and asked him, is it okay for me to be with this man? He gave me the go ahead, but he gave me the go ahead for a reason. Anytime Lucifer gives me the go ahead for something, it's for a reason. And I wasn't even thinking. I'm like in this, I don't know what the fuck you call it. I'm going to Lucifer. I'm asking Lucifer, please don't let me love this man. Like, take this love I have for him out of me. And I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to love him this deeply anymore, because I was still in love with him and didn't even realize I was in love with him. And he still loved me. So I'm going to Lucifer and I'm praying. I'm getting permission, but it's for a reason. So I'm learning about this man, his aggression, his lack of understanding, his lack of comprehension, his sicknesses, his illnesses. And I'm taking care of him and I'm nurturing him and I'm with him and I'm being a support to him. You know, he done had all kinds of shit going on, and I'm being his nurse, his playing wife to him, because that's where we left off at, and that's what we were actually doing for damn near a year. But little did I fucking know. Little did I know. I started paying closer and closer attention. The more I was off of work, the more I was able to see. I started giving too much of myself. And Miss Lynn don't give over herself that easy no more, because I'm not easily reachable anymore. But I opened my heart to love this one person again. And I started seeing how he was treating me. He would call me and say, "Oh, I'm coming over," wouldn't come. He would make promises and didn't keep them. He would ask me for money, and he would give it back. He would give it back. He gave it back. But the fact that he asked me for money, that's a red flag. Ain't no man get ready to sit there and ask no woman for no fucking money. Come on now. So I'm like, when I start feeling used, because Lucifer operates with me on a certain level. When I started feeling used, that's when the veil opened. When I started feeling manipulated, that's when the blinders started coming off. When I started feeling mistreated and abused again, that's when everything lifted. That's when I began to realize what was really afoot. I'm sitting here playing Captain Save a Hole, save a bitch, whatever you want to call it, to somebody who is reaping their karma. Somebody who is going through a karmatic ass whooping. Do you hear me? A karmatic ass whooping. Karmatic interference. I come to learn that this man is heartless, a user of so-called weak-willed women, cheater, a liar. He liked to set people against each other and just sit back and watch. This is what I was learning. The more I spent time with him to get to know him, dating, the more I saw. Oh, y'all didn't like that shit. Y'all ain't like to hear that bullshit. Motherfuckers done jumped off the video. I don't give a fuck. The more I saw him, the more I learned about him. He was getting his karmatic ass whooping. I'm doing spell work, love spells to solidify the love between us, but not really being there to see the effects because I'm at work. But when I started freeing myself and my work schedule started kind of tapering off, the more I would see how he was against me and why he was going through his karmatic ass whooping. He was sick all the time, was always broke, crying for broke, giving his money to everybody, just giving it away, giving it away, giving it away, giving it away, and just stayed in one spot all day, just was there. And I'm sitting here not knowing what's going on, playing nurse to this man. I'm taking care of him. But I noticed the more I would come and take care of him, something bad would happen for me. I would lose money. I would lose parts of myself. And I know in my videos I talk about, and you'll hear a lot of other real spiritual witches talking about sealing your aura. It's for a reason. It's like an armor for you. It's a barrier between you and hurtful, harmful situations and people, right? So the more I was around him, the more holes I would feel being poked in my aura, the more outpouring of spiritual blood, the weaker I would get. All this stuff that Lucifer built around me, all the lessons Lucifer taught me was all going out the window. Why? Because I didn't know where I was at in a spiritual sense. I was interfering with someone's karma. I was interfering with somebody's just desserts or what you call it, what they deserved based off how they've been living their life. And I didn't know it. So anytime something bad happened to him, that same thing would happen to me too. He was having heart problems. I was experiencing heart problems myself. He was losing money. My money would go straight to him, and then I was losing money. He would be sick, and I would be sick with that same sickness. He would slip and hurt himself. I would slip and hurt myself the same fucking way. Why? Because I've taught this in my videos. Why? Because I was sharing that same space with him. I was sharing my power, my magic, my magical ass, my spiritual self with somebody who didn't deserve me. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know. I had no clue that I was interfering with his karma. I did healing spells on him. He would get better just to get right back sick. Then I started doing, and I tell y'all to return all the bad stuff to the sender, return to sender spells. And I noticed about him, he would get sicker And I mean, I'm taking care of him, and I'm sitting here and I'm taking care of him, and he would get better, and he would get sick, he would get better, and he would get sick. I'm doing return to sender spells, and I'm doing my work. I'm cleansing and clearing myself, and clearing and cleansing my house, and that's why he wasn't coming around. He wasn't welcome in my home, for one. For two, he wasn't welcome in my aura space. He wasn't even supposed to even be in my orbit as a person, but as a magical being, I had to learn something. Energy transference. Whatever energy had, and on top of me being an empath at that, energy transference. Whatever energy he carried, I carried it with him. Whatever bad stuff he had happen to him, I had it happen to me. But when I realized what was going on, I stepped back. I was like, wait a minute. I was putting two and two together. I honestly believe Lucifer allowed me to take that time during the period when I did not have to go to work to learn my lesson. And that's not interfering with somebody's karma. The more I did healing spells to help him to get better, because I loved him, because I wanted him to be better and do better. Because he from what I experienced being with him in the past, he was a good man. He take care of his family, he take care of his kids, he take care of his mama, he take care of his grandchildren. He was a good man. So I thought what he showed me was something different. I guess whatever he had going on, it was catching up with him. It was catching up with him big time, big time. Because I've sat there and I've witnessed him go to the hospital, being in the heart patient. What is that? The crash out room is what they call it for heart patients, just in case his heart failed. They would have to hook him up and, you know, do what they do in the crisis ward of the hospital. And it started getting dangerous for me. I wasn't supposed to be with him for no longer than to learn that lesson. Karmatic interference and what it looks like and how it affects me and how it will affect anyone else. If this person has been nasty all their life to other people, if this person has been nothing more than a womanizer, abuser, manipulator, liar, cheater, a backstabber, a thief, hater, and a good person, a good woman comes in and he manipulates and uses her, that karma is going to amplify and on a very dangerous level. And I'm going to Lucifer and I'm talking to Lucifer and I'm asking him for help. I'm asking him to show me the way and I'm asking him to lead me. And my entire lesson was to never interfere with someone's karma. The more I did love spells on him, the more I would be pushed away. The more I did healing spells, the worse he got. The more I was doing my return to sender spells, the sicker he would get. So I'm on here to tell y'all, be careful. Learn how to decipher when somebody is going through their own karma. Because when you mistreat a chosen one, whether it be Elohim or whatever, or Father Lucifer, the backlash is very dangerous. It is. When somebody is going through their own karma, there is things that you have got to see. so that you are not experiencing them on a detrimental level. Pay attention. You doing love spells on this person and they're not working. You're being rejected by this person. It's for a reason. This person is going through all kinds of shit and you're doing spells for them knowing that the magic works and the shit is getting worse for them. It's because 9 times out of 10 they're going through a karmatic phase of they're getting their ass kicked and you need to back away and find something else to do and focus on building yourself and becoming a better version of yourself. So I've learned a very hefty lesson when it comes to karmatic interference. Never again. Never again. Never again. No. Because I know now, I know better now not to interfere with anybody's karmatic ass whoopings. I will no longer allow myself to interfere with anybody's karma ever again. When I say interfering with somebody's karma, I mean in the sense of either that person has previous hexes and curses on them from somebody else, from other people, or God or the gods themselves is handling that person and they telling you to get the fuck away from them and stay away. And God, whatever God you serve, that amplification is going to get louder and louder. Get away, stay away, get away, stay away. Okay, you don't want to? Well, we're getting ready to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to put all of this in your orbit so you can get away from that person because you are interfering with their karma. Some people have the karmatic payment of certain circumstances that you not going to want. You don't want to go out early with somebody that's getting their karmatic ass whooping, do you? You don't want to leave in a casket with them, do you? Because a lot of these people out here is getting their karma. They getting it. Oh, they getting it. They getting their karma. And I'm not getting ready to interfere with nothing else. Never again. It took for me to lose a lot of shit for me to learn never to interfere with somebody's karma that they are receiving. I want to call it payment. Payment for their ill deeds, their ill will, their abuse, their narcissism, their hate, their condemnation, their jealousy, their lack of emotional intelligence, refusing to change it, knowing they are that way. Karmatic interference. Karmatic interference. Never again. I've learned it. I've lived it. And hopefully somebody somewhere will understand and recognize when they are with someone who is going through their own karmatic payment and you get your ass the hell away. Like their whole world is crumbling around them and you getting sucked into their orbit like a black hole just comes and sucks everything out. That's how I equated him too. A black hole, he was fine. He's fine as hell. Who? Let me see that. It's my uncle calling me. I've learned never to interfere with anybody's karma because they're gonna suck you right up under with them, and you don't know what they got going, what their fate is. No matter how much you're gonna do some tarot card readings, how much readings you gonna do, how many fucking Ouija board workings and pendulum readings you gonna do, that same answer gonna stand. Leave them the fuck alone. Don't go into their orbit at all, or you are going to reap the consequences and 9 times out of 10 experience the same shit, if not worse, than they are. I didn't know what hit what. Well, I figured it out. I'm not gonna say it, but when somebody's going through their karmatic payment and you are in their orbit and you thinking you trying to save that person, you really killing yourself. Everything that you have built, every ounce of wealth, every red cent that you have put up, everything that you have built spiritually, it's gonna get taken, and then some. You're gonna start experiencing spiritual bloodshed. Your aura is gonna have holes and dents and things in it that you're gonna have to come back and isolate again to rebuild yourself. That's why I really don't condone doing love magic at all. I don't. I ain't never really done love magic until I ran back into my last situation shit. My last situation. That's when I started doing love magic. And I don't do love magic. We don't do no love magic. I do mainly money magic. And if there's any couples that come to me for spell work, if there's someone who is experiencing some type of situation or disagreement or lack of attention and love in their marriage or in their engagement, that's when I'm gonna do love spells. If you want an obsession spell, I'm gonna start grilling you. Are you sure you want an obsession spell? Do you know this person? How well do you know this person? Have you spent any real time to get to understand, comprehend, and know this person before you decide to do an obsession spell? Be careful out there in the spiritual streets before you decide to get with somebody and start interfering with their karmatic payment. Because I ain't about no karmatic payment plan. I'm not getting ready to keep giving myself away to no motherfucking body after me and Lucifer and the Legion done built this house, this temple. Use a fucking lie. I'm not gonna let nobody tear me down. Not again, never again, not no more. Nope. No. Karmatic interference. It is a thing. And it's a lot of y'all out there going through this stage and this phase and don't know it. It's people out there in your spouse's past, your boyfriend, your girlfriend's past, that they done did some shit too that you don't know nothing about. And it's finally catching up with them. And you don't want that for yourself at all. So I'm telling you, get the fuck out. Find something else better to do. And go to one of the damn demons or Grimmery, Lilith, Citri, Salos, and ask them to help you find somebody that really loves you, truly loves you for who you are and loves your personality, and stop getting with these scallywags. These people out here going through their karma, getting hexed and cursed. You realize how many people is practicing motherfucking magic now? And because that person mistreated them and hurt them so deep down inside, they ended up starting to practice magic and wasn't even going. They was going to church at first, and then all of a sudden they starting to practice magic because they realized that magic is the real goal too. You never know what you better be careful. You better tread lightly. Pay attention out there. Pay attention. You gonna see when somebody going through their karmatic interference. I'm sorry, karmatic payment, and you don't want to interfere with that at all. Let it go. Let them go. You grow. You do what you got to do and bounce. Because it's a hefty payment for you and for them, and your recovery time is going to be a lot longer the longer you stay around them. The longer you entertain that shit, the longer you act against what is and what the realization is, the longer your recovery time is from healing from that. And that is forced trauma, sweet pea. That is forced trauma. That is forced trauma. That is forced. Karmatic interference. Karmatic interference, that's a real thing. It's real. And I wouldn't recommend y'all interfering with anybody's karma. Because it ain't going to be no good. It ain't going to be no good for you. Because I caught him right smack dab in the middle of his karma. The more I tried to heal him, the worse shit got for him and the worse shit got for me. On a spiritual level, on a spiritual level, like, listen, I'm sitting here one day on the couch with him, right? We watching movies because that's all he wanted to do was watch movies and wasn't really interested in nothing. Depression. He was sitting there, he would tell me about how he treated women in the past, and but he was treating me somewhat decent, but at the same time, his old self, it's like I couldn't comprehend that because I've never been around somebody who was getting paid in the form of ass whoopings, loss of money, loss of health, loss of their mind, loss of functioning, unable to walk. I mean, he was losing literally everything right in front of my eyes. Like, I'm sitting on the couch with him one day, we watching movies or whatever, and he's sitting there and he's kind of like slumped over. And if you are a seer, you understand what the fuck I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying when I say this next thing. He's sitting kind of like slumped over. He's listening to the TV. He's just chilling, really just not doing anything or saying anything. And I look at him and he's sitting there. But whatever he got on him, whatever he has, whatever spirit or something he has on him, turns and looks at me. And I'm like, yo, fuck that. That's another red flag. And Luke was like, oh, you need to see more? Because I didn't know anything about karmatic interference until a couple of weeks ago when he said you was interfering with his karma. So I was like, fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. I gotta go. You know, I gotta leave this man alone. So I left him alone. You know, I would call and check in on him as a friend. I wouldn't go and see him as much. I distanced myself completely so I could heal my own spiritual self and get myself back together spiritually so that I can have those blinders completely removed so I could stand back and really see what was going on with him. He was being haunted. He was hallucinating. He was hearing shit. And I'm like, yo, Len, if you don't get your ass the fuck away from this man, leave him alone. I had to tell myself, leave him alone. Like, he would be sitting there, we watching TV, right? And he would be talking. And I would watch him. And it would be like he was seeing shit past him and come and stare right at him. He would look and he would just be standing there and just looking. Or he would be like just frozen. I'm like, bro, whatever he got on him, I can't. At first, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to Prince Leviathan. I'm gonna have this stuff removed. Maybe he's being harassed by angels or blah blah blah. No, 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 no. That was shit coming for him, baby. On the other side, whatever the fuck he done did, whoever the fuck he done got, whatever he done did in his past is catching up with him, and they want him on the other side. Y'all better be careful out here. Be careful who y'all dealing with. If you can't see, you better start asking for sight. Spiritual eyes, give me spiritual eyes so I can see. You better start asking to be a seer. You better start asking. You better start asking for guidance. Y'all better be careful out here. Because we don't have time to keep losing and regaining and losing and regaining and losing and regaining and losing and regaining. Because our life only going to last a certain amount of time anyway. We don't got that much time on this planet. We're here for one specific thing or maybe quite a few. But remember, at the end of the day, we all have a choice. You got a choice in how you treat somebody. That's a decision in your mind formed before you decide to physically do that thing. In your mind, you already did it. So in the physical, you either going to do it or you're going to refrain from it. Don't be interfering with nobody's karma. You turn your ass around and you go do something else. Go add a skill to yourself. Go add something that will refine and add value to yourself. You better ask your demons to put good people and the right people around you that'll amplify you, that'll elevate you in a good way, that'll be of value and profit and addition to your life or multiplication to your life in a good way. You see what I'm saying? Y'all better be careful. Right? My lesson learned. Never again will I ever interfere with nobody's karma. Payment. Ever. Again. Mm-mm. Nope. Can't get me to do it. I'm running from it. I ain't doing it. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. I ain't doing it. Karmatic interference. On a spiritual level, you better be careful. Because I find myself having to rebuild my whole structure. I found myself having to rearm myself. I found myself having to rebuild my mind. I found myself having to protect myself and guard myself. And I'm not as trusting of people now as I used to be. Because not everybody, for one, not everybody's a Luciferian. And for two, I don't trust people anyway. I trust Lucifer and his legion of demons more than I would trust a human being now. You know, at first I was going to people more than I was going to Lucifer. Now I'm going to Lucifer more before I go to anything or anybody. I consult with him first. There's levels to this shit, man. But in the comments, real, how y'all think I lost my tooth while y'all bitch asses is making fun of fucking bones sticking out of your gums in your mouth. The fuck? Y'all do realize teeth is bones, right? These are bones just like your nails. Those are also bones sticking out of your skin. Yeah, but anyway, I ain't want nothing. The sex with him was fire. With my ex, it was good. Damn, it was beyond good. It was something that I had never experienced before a day in my life until I got back with my recent ex, my last situation shit. The sex was, oh my God. And I hadn't had sex for a long ass time. But because it was with him and because I loved him and he loved me at, whatever stage of love he thought was love, sex was good. But moving all of that shit out the way and getting down to the spiritual aspects of karma, the spiritual aspects of a relationship. Relate, shun, ship, relationship. How you relate. Been in the same boat together. Reaching a common motherfucking goal. Y'all be careful out there. Y'all got anything else to say before I get off this damn live? No. I'm gonna sit here and think first before I get off of here. Hmm. Karmatic interference. That's why it's important to get to know somebody. And I mean, when I say know, I mean really get to know them. Not just in a physical sense, but also metaphysical, which also means spiritual. If this person does not have any type of spirituality about them and is nothing but worldly and all about the glitz and glam and vanity and this and that and blah, 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 that motherfucker 9 times out of 10 is brainwashed and ain't gonna do nothing but hurt you in the long run because he is in and of the world, or she in and of the world, watching TV, getting programmed, falling for the okey doke that they pull on y'all every damn day. I do not encourage nor do I support dating. I don't want the world in my business. I don't want to be distracted by the world when it comes to my relationship. I'm not a dating person. I'm more of the quality time. Let me get to know you. Let me read you. You can read me. Let's learn each other's, habits and thoughts and actions and all that. I'm not into the dating shit. Quality time. I wish you all the best of luck, everybody. That is my time, I guess. But y'all be careful. Be careful. And if y'all catch a hint of somebody going through their karmatic payment, let that person go. Leave them alone. Because they deserve it. 100% they deserve it. It's something about them that your God is trying to protect you from. You don't know what that person did. You don't know who that person really is. You can't just be out here making a decision without thinking it all the way through. Y'all be careful. And that whatever karmic payment that person is receiving be given to them. And y'all be safe and stay close to your demons and Lucifer and whatever the fuck God you serve. I worship Lucifer. I don't care. I got Lucifer on my chest all day, every day. I even sleep with this thing on. His sigil. Praise Lucifer, praise Legion. But y'all be careful out here. All right. That's it. That's the post. That's the video. And whoever that young lady was that emailed me a couple weeks ago and checked on me, thank you, because nobody checks on me, honey. Don't nobody ever check on Miss Lynn. Don't nobody send me no emails. Hey, Miss Lynn, how you doing? Thank you for your video. None of that. But this one particular person, she knows who she is. Emailed me a few weeks ago asking me when I was gonna post another video, and I told her I will soon. And here it is. Um, I will see you all soon. I'll post another video shortly. Um, no matter what my fucking situation is, because I'm always moving around anyway. The way my life is set up, 9 times out of 10 is a lesson I got to learn somewhere, and I'm Just gonna be moving about. And that's exactly what this is. No lies told. So I'm used to it. And I don't give a damn. As long as Lucifer provides for me, honey, I'm good. But remember, karmatic interference, what to look for, and how to decipher when somebody's really sick versus when they getting their ass handed to them by whatever god or person that them put a hex on them or whatever. Good luck. But yeah, for real, put in them comments. I lost my two. I don't give a fuck. Bye. How you in this shit? Let me off.